Welcome to Behind the Research, where we go behind the latest research from the Journal of Financial Planning. I'm Ben Lewis, and today I'm joined by Sara Kay, a site reliability engineer and an MS candidate in business analytics at Carnegie Mellon University. Sara, along with doctors Lena Gann and Carlia Harris, authored the latest research in the March issue of the Journal of Financial Planning titled Closing the Advice Gap: Technology Interactions in the Financial Capability Wellness Relationship. This study examines how attitudes towards AI shape the relationship between mobile financial technology use and financial wellness, using data from the 2024 National Financial Capability Study. Results show that mobile fintech use is positively associated with financial outcomes for individuals open to AI, but negatively associated for those skeptical of it, with the strongest benefits observed among lower income households. The findings suggest that financial planners should assess clients' attitudes towards AI and use mobile banking as a gateway to increase comfort with AI-driven financial tools. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore what inspired this research and how you can apply it to your work with clients. Thank you for joining me, Sara, and welcome to Behind the Research.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So, let's start with the why behind the research. What were you seeing in the profession or the broader landscape that made you and your co-authors believe this research was needed?
So, my co-author, Lena Gahn, has been a financial advisor for many years, and she's also my mother. And some of the things that we've noticed as the landscape has shifted is how the top 10 commercial banks have all been deploying AI tools, and about 37% of Americans use bank chatbots. But up until now, no one has really studied whether these technologies actually help or hurt the relationships between financial capabilities and financial wellness. My background has been mainly in data engineering and analytics, and the 2024 NFCS study was really the first time ever that a nationally representative survey asked this question about financial advice and AI and interest. And that was a really huge deal since before I've worked with previously with PNC, Bank of America, and Moody's, and I've seen sort of how these financial institutions have been rolling out AI tools, but not really any of evidence about how they were helping consumers. And so this presented a really interesting research gap for me and my co-authors, where we know that financial capability has a strong relationship with wellness and that technology adoption is accelerating, but no one really had a chance to look at how that technology changed the relationship and what it looked like across different populations.
So, as you guys were conducting the research, were there any surprises that you encountered along the way?
Yeah, I think one of the most counterintuitive findings is that for mobile fintech use, there is actually a negative correlation with financial wellness in the raw data, which is kind of the opposite of what most people assume. And I think it goes to some of the nuance with this story about whether or not people are open to AI. If people who don't have AI interest, then heavy app usage was actually associated with weaker outcomes, whereas those who were more interested in AI found that the mobile use strengthened the outcomes. And so I think there's part of it that there's a technology aspect of course, how helpful is the tool itself, but then
Mhm.
also a mindset approach of how open and receptive are people to using the technology in order for it to be brought out to its full capability.
So, one of the things we like to do here on Behind the Research is get into the practical application of the research. So, what do you most hope FPA members will take away from this research and apply in their practices?
So I think one of the biggest takeaways, and this was very interesting since I'm very much in the engineering mindset of how do we make these products the most helpful and fit use cases and solve these type of problems. But really from this study, I think a really important thing for FPA members is to ask about AI attitudes first. So before
Mhm.
recommending any digital tool, it's really important to check and see where does the client stand on AI. Like it does, and it doesn't have to be a complicated discussion since obviously there are a lot of fears and questions about AI usage, but even something as simple as how comfortable would you be with AI powered budgeting recommendations can be part of that initial consultation. And the mobile apps can be associated with better or worse outcomes depending on the client's AI attitude. And I think really that focus on attitude can let people give better recommendations that make everyone more comfortable. So yeah, the attitudes, it really depends on how the client feels about AI as a whole. Another good recommendation is looking at mobile banking, and this is something that I find personally very helpful since I'm of Gen Z, and it's very convenient to be able to check your finances on your phone. And what they found too was that mobile fintech usage was associated with a 10.4 percentage point higher AI interest. So it's sort of like a good gateway as you lead into AI powered features to start with basic mobile banking. And I feel like it's a really good representation of just overall openness to more technology in one's finances. And one of the biggest takeaways that I found especially impactful was how this could help lower income clients, since we found very strong statistic significance in households earning under $50,000 that really showed that the technology benefits concentrated among these lower income populations. And I think it really contradicts the fear that AI will only help wealthy clients and instead really show that advisors who are working with underserved populations have a really strong actionable tech deployment that could help close these income gaps instead of widening them.
Well, that's fantastic, Sarah. And listen, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time to join us today to go behind the research. And I want to thank you for your contribution and also that of your co authors to the Journal of Financial Planning. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I think, again, this is part of a much more bigger conversation about technology's role in financial planning. And I am personally really excited to see how it can make these type of things more accessible, especially to people who may not have grown up with a financial advisor in the house. And how can we encourage AI skeptical clients to adopt these technologies in a way that makes all parties comfortable? And while we're at it, close income gaps. So thanks for having us.
That's great, Sarah. Again, thank you so much. And I want to let all of you know that you can dig into this exciting new research in the March issue of the Journal of Financial Planning, which is now available to all FPA members. You can simply scan the little QR code on the screen or visit fpajournal.org. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll see you next time on Behind the Research.